Welcome back, everybody, to Thanks for Your Concern.
You are here with... Oh, God. You are here with Ella.
And Berenice. What is up? Hi, Ella. How are you? What you been up to?
For my update, so I'm officially been 6 months sober, which seems crazy because it doesn't seem... I know, which doesn't seem like it's been that long, but it also feels longer. But yeah, it's like sober October. A lot of people do sober October, I guess. That's a thing. Highly recommend it. It's good for your mental health, babes. It's the best thing it's one of the best things I've ever done. I think a lot of people think it's like the hardest thing you'll ever do. I don't agree with that. I think it'll probably be one of the better things that you do, but I don't know that it's the hardest. Honestly, like getting through the trenches of getting out of the trenches of debt and frat basements was a lot harder than this was. But yeah, so I'm celebrating that. That was really fun. There's this brand called Recess, and it's like mocktails with adaptogens.
Ooh.
And yeah, they're a little on the pricey side because it is basically like soda, but they were refreshing, so I will recommend that. But that's been really fun. What about you? What have you been up to?
Honestly, getting my life together. My family's about to be here. All the ladies of the Diaz gang are coming to New York. It's kind of like a really interesting thing because obviously I grew up like not in Mexico. Most of my family in Mexico, they could only come like every few years. So I can like literally count the amount of times I've seen my family members over like the 18 years I've been in this country. Literally, like in 2 days will be like 18 years. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
And or 19. Oh my God, I don't know. I'll do the math later. It doesn't matter. But yeah. So I've never actually gotten to share a lot of like my life with them because even though like they're my family members, I don't like really like know them in a personal, deep level, which is something that I really want to change. So I don't know. I felt a very like overwhelming sense of happiness to be able to like have them over in my apartment. Like one of my roommates just moved out, so we had like a spare room, and like having them stay here. And I don't know, I just feel like it's still like so surreal to have like my grandma stay at my apartment in New York. And like I don't know, that's gonna be
really special and fun. I'm excited for you.
I am really excited. So looking forward to it. Right now I'm cleaning like I've never cleaned before.
Oh yeah, they got high standards, so I get it.
I don't want to hear comments about why my apartment is one way or another. I'm just a girl, okay? I'm just a girl with a cat. I don't know the rest. But yeah, so that is what I'm looking forward to. And we're going to go to this concert. His name is Luis Miguel. He's like probably the most famous person in Mexico. And he's like 50 something. My aunt is like in love with this man. They're the same age. She's been following him for years. So yeah, the 8 of us, ranging ages. I think my little cousin's like 13 to like my grandma's like 70 something. Like we're gonna just vibe out at this concert together. Yeah, good vibes all around.
That's gonna be major vibes. Are you guys gonna do like touristy New York stuff, or are you gonna do Brooklyn, day in my life?
So my family's being a little over enthusiastic. They're being a little bit of delulu. Starting with the red eyes to we're ready to go when we get there to right now they gave me like a list, right? My younger cousins, they're one's 17, one's 24. They gave me a list of all the things they want to do, and I was like, babes, you're only gonna be here for a few days. I don't know how to tell you that like from point A to point B is gonna take you like an hour. You know what I mean? And like I love you so much, but I cannot imagine myself running around. I can't imagine my grandma doing this. I can't imagine any of us doing this. So I think what I'm gonna do is just like really get them moving the first day so they kind of see like this is how much you can cover in a day if you're like really fucking hustling. And then they can get a sense of like you got to pick out like maybe 2 things a day that you like really want to do. And then, the rest of the day is going to be kind of like built around trying to check out other things. But like, I don't want to...
Ask them what their step goal for the day is. Be like, so you're wanting to walk 20 miles today or closer to like 2 because all these activities you're going to end up...
Yeah, like I just don't want you to be disappointed that you couldn't do all these things because just technically not possible to get all this shit done. Like, you want to see Supreme Court for what?
Not right, yeah.
Not right now. That's not at the top of that's at the way bottom of the list. Yeah, so, but you know what? Like, I'm just gonna let them rock with it. Sometimes you gotta let people come to their own realizations. So I like to call myself a hands-off leader. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. You're gonna lead the show. You're gonna tell me where you want to go. I'm gonna take you a little bit, and then I'm gonna. Some people call that manipulation. I call it hands-off leadering. Okay.
Yeah.
Did we like this journey? We haven't liked this journey so far. Okay, how can we change it to make it better?
I like that. I love that about you. It reminds me of the first time I went to New York. I was like 17 in New York, and obviously I was full gossip girl because I was like, I've been living delusion since I was like 12. Okay, so I was trying to serve gossip girl realness, and so I wore high-heeled booties to New York all for like about 6 days. I gave myself fucking lifelong shin splints walking in high heels in New York in the wintertime. It was a big mistake, but it was a growing journey, obviously. So I'm excited for them, and I'm excited for you to share your space, and it'll be nice. I'm looking forward to that. And you can like debrief us next week and let us know like all the fun stuff you did and all the crazy fun things that happened.
I'm sure I'll have stories. We're a very emotional family, so I'm sure the emotions will be running high.
Oh yeah.
All right. My goodness! But
are you ready?
Let's get it. Today we're talking about aging. Let's do it.
Aging.
So it turns out we are getting older day by day. It's scary sometimes, but it's also exciting.
I feel like I've really come full circle. No, I've come full circle with this because when I was little, I was psychotic. Honestly, like sometimes I feel like I shouldn't share stories about myself, but like I really looked up to Marilyn Monroe. So I was like, I don't want to get old. I want to die young like Marilyn. Okay. I was...
No, literally, live fast, die young was the motto.
Yes.
Like, sick.
Like, the things I shared on Tumblr about dying young, like, oh my god, someone put her in, put her away.
Institutionalized, yeah.
Like, literally. But now, I'm, like, so hyped on getting older, and have you watched The Golden Bachelor yet?
No, but I have heard of it. What is it? Tell the crowd.
So... You know the Bachelor, the Bachelorette franchise. I've lost interest in years because honestly, like, it's not dramatic enough to really watch it for the drama, and I don't feel like the connections are genuine enough to like watch for the connections, right? So it kind of falls in the middle. So it's lost my interest.
Yeah, they started casting them too young, so it's like, oh shit, like halfway through they're like, I don't really want to get married. They're like, I'm getting in too deep here.
And then they just pick people from the previous seasons, which I kind of get, but it gets a little, whatever. But this season, Golden Bachelor, his name's Gary. Gary's 75 from Indiana. He lost his wife 6 years ago, and he's looking for his second bout in love. And all the women are 65 and up, okay? About like 65 to like 76. And like, I've never felt more obsessed with a group of women since Pilates this morning. No, I'm being real. Like, they are such kick-ass women, and it was like such an amazing representation of like what your 60s and 70s can look like, and like that you're not like 1 foot into the grave, and you know, like you still have, you're vibrant. You know, they talk about sex, and like some of these girls, they had some funny sex jokes, but I think it was like, it was nice. It was something cool, and I was like, I cannot wait till I get to be 65 and hot and successful and like full of life experiences.
I love that. Yeah, I think something refreshing is that with age, you kind of give less of a fuck. I see it with my grandma all the time. She just says whatever the fuck she feels like saying, problematic or not problematic. It's just out there. And she's like, well, I'm going to die soon anyway. So I don't really give a fuck. Like, I respect that. I actually realized that I already live my life like a grandmother, which may or may not be an issue. But I think when I get older, I may be a little crankier. I I I think I'm gonna be like the crankiest but like coolest grandma ever, the one that's like GTFO, but like if you need me, I'm there. You know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to live like a more quiet life, and then until like I have to show you that like I used to be with the shits.
Yeah, I'm excited to be old and like grandma aged. I will say, like, obviously, I really want to celebrate getting older, but I will be honest, my body has been falling apart.
Oh.
And the amount of time I have and effort and money I have to put into feeling not in pain is unfortunate. I will say that. So younger people, enjoy your body, your age, and your place in life, because one day you will miss it.
Yeah, that was a real realization at Lost Lands, the festival I went to last weekend, was that my body just couldn't hang, and like the second I would sit down, I would just feel gravity like tough, and I'm like,
Extra
"Oh my
heavy.
God, how am I gonna keep doing this?" I but I think like the nice thing at least with age is that my income has also gotten higher, so I can actually afford nicer things. Somebody called me pretentious because like I was talking shit about Izu, and in one of the comments was like, "You sound so pretentious," and I'm like, if I'm paying a good chunk of cash, I want nice things. I want comfort. I want stability. I want like like a better experience than when I did when I was in like fucking high school or college and I just threw my body around. Like I can't do that any longer. I am aging. My body needs finer things in life. I can't hang. I cannot hang like I used to. It called me pretentious. I just think that's just me aging and me not wanting to be like I feel 50 years old on the inside because the live fast die young life is cute until you get to be a little older and you feel 100 years old, like for real. Like I'm like I've done so many things in my life and I'm literally 26. Like
I know.
Calm down.
You know,
like,
yeah, you're getting older when you start talking about like, yeah, I was at a festival and it was all concrete and nowhere to sit. It was bad on my knees. And they're like, what? And I'm like, I really liked, that's the first comment you have about something. You're like, it was not good on my knees. And you're like, dude, how old am I? But like, I'm going to be honest, like this raving festival thing, that is a young person's game, because even at like Coachella VIP where there's places to sit, oh my God, you can only clock so many miles before your poor body is like, enough.
I mean, I will say I'm in
Enough
great
cardio.
shape, okay? Because I was out here kicking it with the younger crowd, keeping it up. Some of them needed breaks, and I was like, what break? And that's how I knew at least, like, I'm keeping up with the times. But honestly, aging's the best thing that's ever happened to me, because when you live the live fast, die young, and you start aging, it actually just makes you slow down. So, like, you're actually just living on, like, a good, normal rate. Like, I'm still fun, but I'm not, like, a crazy person anymore. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm still crazy, but just not like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not like trying to do 10,000 million things that might actually ruin my life. I just like maybe one of those every other month. You know what I mean? Like a normal rate of curiosity and risk per se.
For sure. Do you know like the age filter on TikTok?
Oh, yeah, it's not good. I'm definitely going to need to have Botox at some point in my life. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to the idea of a little preventative aging.
I'm not either, but like honestly, I mean, I will say some people were looking a little evil witch from the woods vibes, and I understand why that might be a little jarring and scary. I literally looked there and I was like, "Oh, grandma," who like literally looked like my grandma, and I was like, dude, I like literally hope and pray that I'm old enough to look like my grandma. Like, what a fucking blessing. And honestly, getting old would be so tight, because I've had so much trials and tribulations that like I cannot wait until I can talk about how crazy I was, like, and be like, I survived all that. Can you believe that? Can you believe that?
I can't believe I survived some of the things I already did.
I
To be
know.
honest with you, I didn't think I was gonna make it this long.
Look at us. Who would have thought?
Yeah, and yeah. I think for the most part now is just remaining as healthy as possible and active as possible. I definitely like want to be able to age as smoothly and be able to keep up with activities. I honestly I feel like stronger and more in shape than I did even when I was younger. Maybe it was due to the fact that I like drank a lot when I was
Yeah.
younger and now I drink a lot less. You know, bad habits, man. It's never too late to turn your life around. I was actually thinking about that today because I've been a little down the last couple of days, and I thought, damn, when I used to be down when I was younger, I used to literally get blacked out drunk and like try to forget about my feelings. Like, feelings? Who? No, we're not doing that. And today I was feeling a little down and I was feeling a little like I need to get out of here at work. And instead of being like, I'm gonna go get a drink with a friend after work because I literally, like, the idea of drinking is repulsive. Like, I can't even think of doing that. I just went to the trim store and I walked around and I was like, this is like my happy place. Like, so many potential things that I can make from here, so many cute things. And I just picked myself up some fabric, a little bit of trim, and I was like, I'm gonna make this and this and this. And I pepped myself up. And I was like, wow, that was such a boring way to cope, but like, look at me now.
I don't know if it was boring. I was definitely creating more problems. That's always fun, is to create more problems. But
Yeah.
I will say, getting older, I feel like I just have like just a little bit. I've just made enough mistakes where I feel like I've actually learned. It took me a
Yeah.
while to learn from my mistakes. Because I think if you don't like take time to like reflect on things and you just keep going, and like we're talking about living fast, one of the consequences of living fast is not reflecting on mistakes. You just move on and make new mistakes. And now now that you get a little older and like life slows down, you can be like, you know what? You get time to like process and be like, you know what? I'm really happy I never have to make that mistake again. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's one of those things where it's like, I'm really happy I never have to like endure a terrible relationship. I don't have to endure bad people treating me poorly. Like, I don't really need to do that ever again. And it's kind of hard. And that's like the cool thing about aging is you just get older and you get a little fucking wiser. And I feel a little crazy that I'm turning 30 in like, oh my God, in a while. I still got like, I
in
can
like
9
a
months.
year. Calm down.
I have 9 months.
Calm down.
But I'm actually like excited. I kind of want to be in my 30s, bro. I feel like I'm excited. I used to not be excited. And I feel like some people aren't excited for their 30s, which I get. You know, we're all in different places, but I'm hyped.
The 20s kind of suck. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's cool, but like, you don't know who you are. You're literally, you have no money. You're building your money. You're still figuring out what the fuck you want to do with your life. I feel like by 30, hopefully, I'll feel a little more like with the shits. Like, I have lived here and I have lived here, and I'm like sound of mind and stable of money. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, I think like right now I'm trying to give myself like props, but also like compassion that like maybe I'm not in the place I necessarily want to be just yet, and that's okay. You know, like I still,
Yeah.
there's more life to live to figure all that out. It's all gonna fall in place like eventually, and I can't beat myself up for not like rushing to get there. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, I was just thinking about this with I was just thinking about this like the one thing about getting older is like don't let getting older pressure you into making like the wrong move. I think that I kind of hear some of my girlfriends being like, "Oh, like I really have to think about settling down because you know, my biological clock." And I'm like, "Yo, yo, 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 yo. Let's hold up. Don't rush to find a baby daddy because you think your biological clock is ticking." And I read some stuff because, you know, I like to come informed, right? Like,
Yeah.
the biological clock, that like concept is from the 70s, and we can say that things are very drastic. Like, how we conceptualize like motherhood and womanhood is different nowadays. And like, don't feel like at the end of your 20s or even in the beginning of your 30s that like you are running out of time, because I think that any like kind of pressure like that, you end up making poor decisions. And if you are worried about fertility, like you should reach out to those resources, because that's obviously a very valid concern. But like, we do not have an expiration date in like at 30, you know. It's like, or even like, yeah, you can always make different choices. So like that, and like getting married, if you see your friends getting married and you feel like you're getting too old and that you need to get
So
married.
many. Holy, oh my God. I saw Alinium and Level Up and Subtronics and Alinium's, like, all those people just got married this weekend. It's National Boyfriend Day. You know how many people are in relationships? There's how people getting engaged and shit. I was like, oh my God, life's coming at people fast.
Yeah, well, we had Adam on the podcast, and he said, Adam, our comedian friend, and he's a little bit older than us. He was like, if you just like wait out that part where you feel like you're behind, people will start getting divorced, and then everyone will tell you good things that you waited. So just hold out. Not saying that everyone's fucking doomed, but I just think it's a funny thing that like a lot of people who get married around this time will come back and be like, I wish I had waited, or yada yada yada. So you never know how people's lives are going or what have you. So like, there isn't really one linear path to life, so don't feel like you're running on a clock.
I like that. I like that feeling. I will say, as getting older, at least as like a woman, I know, like, biologically, like after 25, your brain starts releasing like the baby chemical that's basically like your body being like, this is your time. So if you're feeling like you passed that age and now you're like baby crazy, that's like also just part of your biology being like, you're fertile, let's fucking have babies. But also having a baby does change your entire like
existence,
like,
identity.
And from within, I saw apparently like having a baby, you get like a man's DNA in you, and it changes you, like your genes, like your DNA. It alters it. They're part of you forever. I don't know. That's like really good. That's like a really big commitment. You know what I mean?
Do you know what's the scary? I mean, I've been scared of pregnancy for a very long time. Do you want to know one of the scariest facts about pregnancy that I know?
Yeah.
Okay, so your baby needs calcium, so your like fucking teeth can fall out. Because your body is consuming the calcium. The other one that I really don't like that much is that a lot of women experience tearing of their vagina from some degree. But like 30% of women, it's like from your vagina to your butthole, completely tear. Yeah. That seems very traumatic. Honestly,
your nose can change, your eyesight. Our friend Greta, she was on TikTok. She was like, my eyesight changed. Like, your whole fucking, your existence, your whole being changes. It just happens. So there's a lot that goes into that.
Mad respect to all the mothers out there. Like, I literally respect it so much, but I really feel like motherhood should not be a decision that anyone takes lightly. And specifically, honestly, I would probably tell people, have a baby on your own before you have it with a fucking person that you're only so-so about, if I'm being honest. I'm totally about fucking people I'm being honest, all right? And then, don't get married to someone that you don't need to get married to because you feel like you're behind.
It's the next step in life. I mean, some people do that. I remember I met like a bachelor party in Miami, and he wasn't talking about his wife that fondly, and I was kind of confused. And I was like, so why are you getting married? And he's like, it's just like the next step. And I was like, if I had a man and he was talking to some random bitch at a club in Miami, it's club space, okay? So it's like 5 a.m, random person talk at the club in Miami, lost brain cell. And he says, yeah, I'm just marrying this girl because it's the next step. Screaming! Internal agony! Scream! Anyway, so ladies, make sure like your man's obsessed with you, okay? Because literally finding out that information would make me wanna die. I will say that as I get older, it has become more difficult to date. And I think that that's because I'm catching up. Okay? Like, I've learned a lot of life lessons with different men at this point that now I figure it out a lot quicker. I'm like, oh, he's a liar. My spidey senses start tingling, and I'm like, Bernice, I remember last time you felt this, that man was lying to you. Trust your intuition. He's a liar. And then, like, I won't even know the full story, but I just, like, have a feeling that they're lying. I called out, like, a few men this week.
Yeah.
Like, summer roster who, bitch? Like, none. There was one dude, and he was a Los Angeles, and he had, like, reached out to me to hang out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, like, full 180. I was like, oh, did you, like, get here? Like, no response. The next day he was like, run into him, super, like, cold, and, like, left really quickly. And then he, like, called me on the way back and was like, oh my god, like, sorry I didn't have reception. And I was like, there's another bitch. Like, there's another bitch. Like, I know that one. And then I, like, ponder it a few days, and then I saw, like, a common friend post a video. And the video had this other girl in it. And I was like, I knew it! So he like, reaches out to me like, 6 in the morning. I'm still up for God knows what reason. I went on a little bit of, like, a little outing. And at 6 in the morning, I was up. I was fucked up. And this man reaches out to me. So I call him. And I'm like, you went with another girl to this thing, right? Like, I needed to know at this point, because I knew I was right, but I just, like, needed confirmation. And he's like, well, and I was like, I fucking knew it. Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, you're a liar. You're lying. Like, you lied to me. And that's just when I realized that sometimes, like, now you're catching on onto the game a lot quicker. So it makes it a lot more difficult to date, because, like, I guess people will take what they can, but, like, I can't do a liar, and I can't do people that are sketchy from the beginning. Another guy asked me out on a date, but he had slid into my DMs while he had a girlfriend, like, a year ago.
No,
No, I literally replied, and I was like, sir, like, thank you so much. You're kind, but you reached out to me when you had a girlfriend, and that's, like, a big no for me. You're not to be trusted. You're a cheater. You're a liar. Goodbye. On to the next. And he was like, I understand. And I'm like, okay, then don't fucking do it again.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the one. So it's just getting more difficult to when you get older and you know what you want, and you meet people that they don't know what they want, or, like, what the fuck is going on. Specifically, like, men around my age or younger, I'm like, what is happening? And then you meet older men thinking, maybe they have it more together. Oh. And then you meet, like, 33-year-olds that, like, literally don't know what the fuck is up, what the fuck is down, still a bum. And I'm like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to find somebody.
When I was thinking about this, because I'm getting to the age where, well, I don't know. Like, when I was 21, I was dating, like, 35-year-olds, right? Because I had this perception that dudes my age were not mature. They weren't, but 35-year-olds that were dating 21-year-olds were equally not mature, right? There's a reason why they're dating young girls, right? And then you just kind of find out that most men don't mature ever, but it's... No, it's just dependent on the person. Like, I don't think there's any magical age where someone is mature or not mature. I think that there is a point where I think people are more ready for a serious relationship, because I think they realize that their time's running out. I think that's the only reason that men settle down, is that they're like, I can't pick up girls like I used to anymore. They see that their number, I swear it is, like, something that they do in their head. It's crazy what you start noticing when you get older. And, like, honestly, like, I obviously am in a committed relationship, so it's a little different for me, but, like, I kind of call out people that my friends are dating, and I'm like, yo, that's a sketch as shit thing that he did. Like, are you joking? And I think, and they're like, yeah, I know, that was kind of weird, wasn't it? I was like, no, that wasn't weird. That was really fucking sus. Like, that, he's doing something. Like, that is not normal person behavior.
Is up.
That is, like...
The shady meter is just...
Like, what are you... And I think that we all like to be in love, and so we like to, like... I love a good delusion, but in your delusion, I feel like the only person that should be delusional, and the only person who is, like, in that delusion is, like, yourself, Like, your delusion should not involve other people. Like, you shouldn't have a relationship that's imaginary. You should, like, believe that you're a rock star. You shouldn't believe this other person's a rock star. Only keep your delusions about yourself. Don't involve other people in your delusions.
Don't involve other people.
Yeah. That's my advice.
They just linger.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is happening to other people, but also as I get older, my standards do get higher. So it's like, obviously, I require a lot more. And I think that's good because it's like, I don't know, I'm older, I'm making my own money, I'm living on my own, and I'm sorry, but I meet you and you're like living at your mom's house and your mom still like does a lot of things for you. I just can't imagine how that's gonna work out with me and you in the long run. Like, am I supposed to be your mom when you no longer live with your mom? How does that dynamic play out? You know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot more things that, like, when I was younger, it was like, oh, cool, whatever. And now I'm like, I can't do it. I need somebody that's, like, already got their life a little bit more together. And sometimes that's the biggest red flag when you, like, mix with somebody well and you know it, like, logistically it's not mathing, you need to get out. If that person's not at the point of their life where, like, it kind of matches up with yours, I genuinely don't think it works out in the long run. Like, even if you really like each other, because, like, you're already moving. So unless you're, like, building this person up and they're going
like, quick.
Yeah, like, no. It's not going to work, babes. It's not going to work. And I think that's why having standards and keeping up to those makes more sense to wait for somebody that already meets those basic requirements than somebody who's just not there yet. And sometimes, like, people will out themselves to not being there yet. Like, if you see a man that wants casual, his life is not together.
Yeah.
For the most part, that man's life is in shambles. He's at war with himself. Let him fight it out on his own. Let him figure it out. Let him figure it out. Let him get to the place that he wants to be. And I'm sure when he gets to the place he wants to be, that man's going to be ready for somebody to love.
I feel like with age, I'm just less easily impressed, okay? And it's just because I can provide for myself in a way that I just am not impressed. And that's why I get really upset sometimes when people, like, accuse other people of being gold diggers because they would like to have a dinner date instead of coffee. And it's like, let me tell you something right here, right now. I can buy myself dinner literally every single day of the week, every single day of the month if I really wanted to. I'm not in it for a $30 meal. I just feel like if we go to drinks, well, like, for me, it's like, I don't, like, you know, anyways, it's just like, no, that's just not what I want to do with my time. And that is, I feel like if that's the standard that you want to set, then that should be fine. And people that are like, you're a gold digger, it's like, no, I actually make my own money. So what is this, you know?
Yeah, I want somebody that's going to want to take care of me. Financially, emotionally, both. I don't think that's bad to say. Like, I will still make my own money. I still plan to do my own thing. And if we have a family, somebody's going to have to raise those goddamn kids. Like,
it's one of those things where I'm just like, bro, with the economy like it is, like, come on, like, I need, like,
I can't be the only breadwinner here.
Like, I can't be the breadwinner. Like, it's honestly like one of those things where I'm like, I don't even know what we're fighting about or what people are arguing about. Like, we're going to need a 2-income household, and we also live in a major metropolitan area, and you want your kids to have better than you have, right? And, like, I know, like, dude, I would love to send my kid into gymnastics. I know how much that costs.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Gymnastics is an expensive sport.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I gotta fucking pick accordingly. Like, bro.
Yeah.
Can you afford gymnastics for our 2 kids? No,
then I don't know. Do you have a plan for that? Like,
literally,
you know, it's okay if you know, maybe don't meet it right now, but, like, do you have a plan for that? And, like, how many years? Like, what you got going in there? If you don't have anything in there, I gotta go. And it's really sad sometimes because you realize a lot of people are just not there yet. But it's okay. It's okay.
It doesn't make them bad people. They're just not right for me. Okay. And they're not right for you. And, like, don't ever apologize. I think that's the thing about aging is that you feel so much better about setting boundaries and upholding standards. Like, I feel like when you're really young, you feel bad about telling a guy by telling someone you're not interested because they don't meet your standards. You feel bad. You're like, he's a nice guy. La 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 la. No, and then you get to, like, an age where you're like, honestly, he is a nice guy.
Have fun with it.
Yeah.
At the end, start having fun with it. I've been low-key rude. Not even that rude, but, like, I've been having fun with it. When someone shits on me or it isn't really giving me, like, I know they're giving me bare minimum, I'm like, this is not up to the like expectation that I have for somebody like that's pursuing me. Like, it was so nice to meet you. We can carry on as friends, but like I'm good. And then they're like, "Oh my god, she just said I had mid energy." Like, that's so mean. No, that is your energy. I'm just letting you know about yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. I'm not sorry about it.
Literally, stop saying sorry, all right? We get to the age where it's like, we don't need to say sorry. We don't need to apologize. Like, no. And that's I honestly, I'm just, every day is a new opportunity to be a badass motherfucker. And that's what I'm like so excited to get older and become more badass.
100%.
Bad
D. I think the last thing that I'll say about like getting older is like figuring out who your like lifelong friends are is such like a beautiful thing. Like, the older I get and the people that I know are like staying at this point, because our relationships are so, I would say they have such a good foundation that even if we don't like talk for like a few months, when we talk it's like, oh my god, like let's catch up, blah 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 blah. Same fucking dynamic. You know what I mean? That's beautiful. Yeah, when you start getting your lifelong friends where you're like, I've been friends with this person for like 12 years. You're like, oh my god, like that is crazy. That's awesome.
It is. It's also like really just, I feel like it's one of those things where your life goes in a lot of different directions, and it's like really cool to see who's still around. And, you know, Snapchat memories are a blessing and a curse. The curse is I have to be reminded of things, but then the blessing's like, damn, that was 10 years ago. And I mean, the same characters are in my Snapchat stories that are people that I'm still homies with, you know, all of our fun little me and Berenice's memories, me and my other friends' memories. And it's like, dang, that was 7 years ago. Like, that seems crazy. And that is really special.
That you can be in different points in your life with some other people and still be so tight. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I have friends that are like, you know, just like their lives look completely different than mine. But when we come together, we're still like a grand old time together. We still like have things that we have in common overall, just as people. We vibe and we can do any activity together and we'll still have fun. Like, that's such an awesome friendship to have. I feel like when I hang out with people that I used to be friends with when I was younger, I always feel younger when I hang out with them. Like, it's almost like ageless to have long lasting friendships. So take care of the people around you. Value your friends. Treat them nice. Okay? Like, partners may come and go, but your besties are really for the resties. I would say put a lot of emphasis in those good relationships where people are reciprocating your energy, your time and interest in building those foundations so you can have them forever.
I love that. And honestly, I think as you get older, the friends you meet along the way can be really special too. And they're based on more than like Stockholm, we're stuck together kind of thing. And so that can be beautiful in its own way too. But I would definitely say like foster your friendships. And I mean, life just gets more and more beautiful. So I'm looking forward to like the next 5 years, 10 years. Holy shit. Who knows? Forever.
I know. All right. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. As always, please go subscribe. Tell a friend about this episode and our podcast, and then please go follow us on social media at Thanks Number 4 Your Concern. I'm at Berenice DSM.
And I'm at Ella L Tutor. Bye.